My name is Jonathan Miller, and this is the story of how the biggest blessing I gave my son became the biggest pain of my life. I grew up with nothing. No inheritance, no family home, just hard work and endless responsibility. When I became a father, I made myself a promise. My son Daniel will never struggle the way I did. After my wife passed away, Daniel became my only purpose, my only reason to keep going. For 35 years, I worked double shifts at the factory, skipped vacations, saved every dollar. Not for myself, but for him. And finally, I did it. I bought a beautiful 2-story house. White walls, wooden porch, sunlight pouring through every window. A home filled with dreams. On the day I handed Daniel the keys, he hugged me tightly and whispered, "Dad, I don't deserve this. I promise I'll take care of you one day." That moment, I thought I had raised a good man. But I was wrong. Weeks passed. Daniel and his wife Emily moved into the house. Slowly his calls stopped. My visits became inconvenient, and one day, when I knocked on the door of the house I bought with my own hands, a stranger opened it and asked me, "Sir, who are you?" That was the moment everything changed. When that stranger asked me, "Who are you?" my heart sank. I stood there, holding a small bag of homemade food I brought for my son, completely speechless. A few seconds later, Daniel finally appeared. But instead of welcoming me, he looked uncomfortable. "Dad, you should have called first," he said quietly. I forced a smile. "Son, this is your home. Do I need permission to visit?" But before he could answer, his wife Emily came downstairs, her expression cold. "Jonathan, we're really busy. Maybe you should go back home. We'll visit you later," she said, as if I was a burden, not the father who gave them everything. But what shocked me most was what I saw behind them. Suitcases, clothes, and new faces inside the house. 2 of Emily's cousins were sitting on the sofa, comfortably drinking coffee. "Like they owned the place," I asked softly. "Who are they?" Emily replied as if it was nothing. "They'll be staying with us for a while." A while? No one had asked me. No one even informed me. I looked at Daniel, waiting for him to speak up. But he just lowered his eyes and whispered, "Dad, please don't make this complicated." That was the first time I felt like a stranger in my own son's life. I left quietly. No arguments, no anger. Just pain, but this was only the beginning, because what happened a week later broke me completely. A week later, I received a letter. Not a message, not a call, an actual letter from the bank. It said, "Mortgage payment overdue. Final notice before legal action." My hands trembled. Mortgage? I had fully paid for that house. It was a gift to my son, completely in his name. No loans. No debts. I immediately drove to the bank and asked for an explanation. The banker looked at me and said, "Sir, your son took a home equity loan against the property 2 months ago. He hasn't paid anything back." My heart stopped. I called Daniel. He didn't answer. I called again. Nothing. So I went to the house. This time no one stopped me. I walked in and what I saw crushed me. The furniture I bought, gone. New expensive decorations, everywhere. Emily's cousins still living there. Laughter, music, empty bottles. Like it was some vacation home. I found Daniel in the backyard, staring at the ground. "Why?" I asked softly. He didn't look at me. Instead, he muttered, "I needed money for renovations. For a bigger life, Dad. You wanted the best for us, right? You put the house under debt without telling me," I whispered. He stayed silent. Then Emily stepped out, arms crossed. "Jonathan, it's our house now. You gave it. You don't get to control how we live." That sentence burned deeper than any wound. I walked away slowly. No shouting, no threats, but inside something changed. I realized love without respect becomes weakness. And I decided that day I wouldn't stay silent anymore. I showed him the original property documents, the transfer papers, and proof that I had fully paid for the house. He looked at me and said, "Mr. Jonathan, legally you still have rights. You only transferred ownership, but not responsibility for their debts. If they took loans without your permission, we can act." That was the moment I stopped being just a father and became a man protecting his dignity. We filed a legal motion to freeze the property until investigation. The bank agreed. All spending related to the house, blocked. Renovations, stopped. Loan approval, canceled. 3 days later, Daniel called me, not to apologize, but to shout. "Dad, what have you done?" "They're saying we could lose the house," I replied calmly. "No, son. You lost it the day you chose greed over gratitude." Then, silence. That night, I went back to the house, not as a guest, but with legal officers. They handed Daniel and Emily the official notice, 30 days to vacate the property. No more parties, no more strangers living there, no more using my love as a credit card. Emily exploded with anger. "You're destroying your own family," she screamed. I looked at her and said softly, "Family is built on respect, not convenience." Daniel's eyes were filled with tears, not of sadness, but of realization. I walked to the door, placed one hand on the wall, and whispered to myself, "A father's love is not a weakness. It's a gift. But when that gift is broken, you take it back. Sometimes we give everything, our time, our love, our sacrifices, hoping our family will value it. But the harsh truth is, love without respect turns into exploitation. A father's heart can forgive 1,000 mistakes, but the day he chooses self-respect, he becomes stronger than his pain. So remember this. Being kind is good. But letting others walk over your kindness is not love. It's self-destruction. Family is not just blood. Family is loyalty, gratitude, and respect.